What's going on YouTube? Just helping you out here. And for today's video, I will be going over Chapter 16, Problem 5 in the Fundamentals of Physics textbook, 8th edition by Gerald Walker, Halliday, and Resnick. Chapter 16 is all about waves, and for this particular problem, we are given a kind of bizarre equation that describes a certain wave that moves along a string, and we are asked to find the amount of time that it takes to move between two different displacements, so 2 millimeters and negative 2 millimeters, so how long that change in time is. So let's start by writing out this equation. So we have our y, which is our displacement in the y direction, is equal to 6 sine times kx plus 600t plus phi. Now, the thing is, we're given two different displacements, 2 and negative 2. So we actually need to write out both. So we'll do 2, so for 2 millimeters, is 6 sine kx plus 600, and we have two different times, so this one will be t1 plus your phi, and your other one is negative 2 millimeters, which will be the same equation, besides the fact that right here we have time 2 now, plus phi. And so what we need to do is we need to get the t out of here, like out of this whole sine function. So what we're going to do is we're going to start by dividing both sides by 6. So we get 2/6 equals sine kx plus 600 t1 plus phi, and then negative 2/6 equals sine kx plus 600 t2 plus phi. And then what we can do is we can do the inverse sine. So we get you can either do sine to the negative 1 of 2/6, or you can do arc sine. They both are the same exact thing. And that's going to equal your kx plus 600 t1 plus phi. If you would like me to do a separate video on how to do inverse trig functions, please let me know, and I will be happy to make that video. But in the meantime, this second half is going to be negative 2/6, inverse sine of negative 2/6 equals kx plus 600 t2 plus phi. And now, since we're trying to find the change in time, we're trying to find t1 minus t2. So what we can do is we can actually subtract these two equations so we can get our t's together. So we can do sine negative 1 of 2/6 minus sine negative 1 negative 2/6 equals kx plus 600 t1 plus phi minus kx minus 600 t2 and minus phi. You need to make sure that you have your minuses here. It's just the fact that you're distributing, so it's minus this entire quantity, so you have to distribute the negative to each separate term. That's why all these are negative. And if you notice, we can actually cross out the kx's and the phi's. So this becomes sine negative 1 of 2/6 minus sine of negative 1 of negative 2/6 is equal to, and we can simplify this a little bit further by taking taking out the 600 to form t1 minus t2. And then we just divide that whole thing by 600. So our delta t, or our t1 minus t2, is equal to sine, or inverse sine, of 2/6 minus inverse sine negative 2/6, all of that over 600. And when you do that, you should end up with 0.011 seconds or 1.1 milliseconds. Alright, so if you found this video helpful, please drop a like, leave a comment if you have a question about something I did or an idea for a future video, and lastly, please do not forget to subscribe. I'm just helping you out. See you in the next video.